Legal matters require a highly qualified team to guide you through our complex legal system. Count on Smith Garner with over 90 years of trial experience, representing you in personal injury, criminal, and divorce cases. Call 304-1451. Smith Garner. Real lawyers, real experience, real results.
Oconee Fall Line Technical College. Think differently about college. New student registration begins August 1st.
Welcome everyone out to Dublin High School, here with head coach and athletic director Roger Holmes. And Coach Holmes, it's football time. We're about a month away from the first game, from the kickoff.
Gosh, and this to me, for some reason, seems like it's been the fastest summer that we've been a part of. But it's here, Georgia High School, first official day required for athletes is July 25th, which is next Wednesday. Their rules state that every athlete has to go out and practice for 2 hours in T-shirt, shorts, and helmet. Now, if you go in the weight room for an hour, it counts as one of your hours in your 2 hours. So it's 2 hours of physical activity for 5 straight days, which would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you can put on your pads for the first time on Wednesday, August 1st.
Yeah, and what a difference that makes on players, Coach. You know, you look at the kids you have out, and you look at summertime workout, and we know who's coming back. In theory, you know, you going in and you talking to your coach, you say, we got these kids back. We got a good framework. But sometimes a kid will show up in the summertime and really show up well and look good, look athletic, and then they get to the point where they put on the pads and you don't know.
Well, you know, that's where we are right now. And we're concerned because our fans remember our scrimmage last year with Baldwin County. We had the big storm come through and we didn't get to have that scrimmage. So that's really so valuable for some of the kids you're not sure about yet. So we lost that opportunity. Then we had us a half pad camp lined up with Rutland right at the end of June. For whatever reason, Rutland was only able to bring about 15 players the first day. And the second day, they couldn't get enough. They didn't have but 6, and they weren't even able to show up. So for us, we're behind in our evaluation of some of our younger players and how much they have matured, grown, and the weight room has made a difference. We are next week, and I'll let our fans know this because we are excited about it. Monday of next week, we will have a half pad camp. Jefferson County will be here, and they're going to be one of the best AA teams in the state. And then on Tuesday of next week, we will have Jefferson County and Macon County, who's one of your top 10 single A teams in the state, will be here for a half pad camp. And those practices on the field are like from 9 to 11 and then from 2 to 4:15. So anybody's welcome to come out and watch a little football and get a preview of what they think. But
Coach, let's talk just for a minute about a half pad camp. And to me, I think you were the first one around here that started that whenever it was allowed, a year, 2 years back, whatever it was. But you actually get some contact.
Well, what it is they call it thud. The players are only allowed to wear helmet and shoulder pads. Nothing from the waist down, no girdle, nothing but shorts. So the objective, obviously, is to keep everybody off the ground. Then you're not allowed to have what they call full contact. You have to do what's called thud. So there's an initial blow, and then it's supposed to stop. You don't tackle people to the ground, which is all about safety and eliminating the amount of head contact that players are involved in. And we've been able through the years, as we've continued to do this, and other schools and coaches and teams are doing it, it's starting to come on back around a little bit more. It's a great teaching tool, but, for us, it's tremendous for our starters to have to line up against someone else's starters, because that's where you get a little bit better idea how you stack up.
Yeah, and opposed obviously to 7-on-7, you got everybody on the field.
Yeah, and then, that's touch, and every play in a 7-on-7 is pass.
Yeah.
So when you get into the half pad camp, you will actually come together in 11-on-11 scrimmage type situations at portions of the practice. So the defensive backs, they don't know whether you're going to run or whether you're going to throw, and that kid that doesn't have the discipline that you need to read his keys, he's getting beat deep, and you get a chance to see that before that first game on Friday night.
Yeah, you got time to make adjustments.
Yes, sir.
And teach, and you good on technique. You've always coached that, making that first step right, doing the right thing. But Coach, let's start out with, and let's just give everybody an overview and call some names of some players at quarterback, and how you look as far as running backs. And let's go through your talent players, and let us know if there's a good backup there. Who's your second man, and how?
Well, our starting quarterback is a three-year starter. That's Rodriguez Martin. And anytime you have a 3-year starter returning, you got to feel pretty good about it. But he's got two backups. Markel Mitchell, who will be a sophomore, and Kendall Wade, who will be a sophomore. And those kids are battling pretty good, making progress every day. The next area where we're probably the strongest right now is at tight end. We have Steve Linton returning, and right now I think Steve's up to about 17 or 18 Division I offers. And he's doing a great job as a defensive player and a tight end. And then the kid that might be our best all-around athlete, Jaquez Evans, is also back at tight end. So those two kids are doing a good job. Our two starting tackles right now, we've moved Barrick Wadley from center to left tackle to replace a graduating senior in Jaden Daraso. We've got Landon Amerson, who's playing right tackle for us. We've got Jarvis Jones and Ahmad Lattimore are the two backup offensive tackles right now. At center, Jeremy Stuckey has had a real good spring, and so is Khalil White. Both of those kids could play there. Stuckey's about 340. Khalil White benched or squatted, I think, 555 pounds the other day with an easy parallel squat. He's our number 2 center, if you will. And then we return Jalen Carter at right guard. Jalen Carter started for us last year as a two-way player. The other young man is Ty McCray. Ty weighed in the other day. It was kind of exciting to see. He's in the 230 range now. So he's a junior, him and Jalen both. That's our two guards. That's an area we've got to get better. We need depth at guard. Ezekiel McMillan, a senior, has moved into guard, and Dakota McDonald, a sophomore, is working for us at guard. When we jump in the backfield, we feel very solid at fullback. We've got Jermaine Cooley back. We've got Stacy Sharp back, and Josh Isaac can certainly play. He's a sophomore, and there's 3 fullbacks there. The left halfback position, we return Cortavius Mitchell from last year, and Cortavius won the state weightlifting competition in his weight class. He's backed up by Marcus Adams, who is going to be a really, really good football player and an explosive home run hitter type kid. And then the other one is on the right halfback position. We got Greg Jones. Greg won the state weightlifting competition in his area. He's also, he's got quality backups over there. Zion Kemp is one of those. Then when we jump out at wide receiver, we return Tyler Strickland, who was a big playmaker for us at wide receiver. We've got a transfer, Romello Height, who gives us a big target at wide receiver. He's back for us, and Gabe Guyton and Aldashon Guyton are also working there. So there's a lot of names for you. I'm glad I didn't mess them up, but
you didn't forget one.
My mind was running through the depth chart as we were talking.
And Coach, you got size in the backfield. You pointed that out earlier. Speak on that for a minute. How you feel?
Well, I'm concerned about our breakaway ability, our big speed ability, but we think we've got enough speed to get out. Like I said, we just need to play against some other teams and see how we do against their ones. But Jermaine Cooley is a 230-pound fullback, and Jermaine runs well, but he's a 350 bencher and a 315 power cleaner. He's very strong, big physical fullback.
Not going to come down easy.
Not going to come down easy. And then those two halfbacks are big. Our backups are smaller and faster. So we've got to change up, and don't be surprised. Tyler Strickland, who plays wide receiver, could end up some at running back because he's one of those kids that can go the distance.
Mm-hmm. Coach, you got to feel real good about your key players there, and then we come to the line, you got to feel good about that size.
We've got great size. We're a little underexperienced, and depth is a question. Whenever you start getting to a smaller school, depth always is a problem. But, how fast some of these younger kids come along, and they may not be where they need to be in week one. But by the time you get to week 4 or 5, and they've just continued to improve every day in practice, they're going to be assets.
Yeah. And if we go down that line, you probably would say, one of the guards or the guards, that is such a key.
Well, it is in our offense. It's, we try to tell them all the time, if you played in somebody else's offense, you'd be a fullback. You'd have a running back number. Mm-hmm. But size is not the major important factor in being a good wing T offensive lineman. But athletic with size is never a negative.
Right, that's right.
It's never a negative.
It's a double positive,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you got to have that quickness, like you say. You got to be able to get out there and, a couple of pulling guards. I mean, we just love to see them come around that end, blowing it out.
It's a pretty sight when they do it well.
Yeah. So you got the tools there on the offensive side of the ball. What about any surprises on any of those younger kids, any of those names you mentioned, anybody that really showed out either in the weight room, got tremendously stronger, or maybe starting to show some potential with quickness or with the ability to grasp what their assignment is?
My biggest surprise right now has been Jeremy Stuckey. Stuck's always been a big old kid, but he's not ran well or not wanted to run well. And I'm not being negative. He's a big old kid. He weighs 340 pounds. And a big old kid out there, a lot of times the running is the last thing they want to do, but they got to be able to run. Well, Stuck has done a great job in the weight room. He's got his bench up to 395. He's squatting over 500. And he's a big kid. The thing that really is so impressive about him now, we're out here running gassers, which is across the field twice and back. And they're timed, and you have to make time. And Jeremy Stuckey all of a sudden now is making gassers in 40 and 41 and 42 seconds. So that maturity and pushing through the discomfort a little bit has come a long way. And I anticipate that turning him into being a tremendous football player for us.
Coach, we talk about this part of the summer, and you're not quite to the pads and what have you. It's so hot, and you got to work out in the weight room, then you got to get out on the field. Kids have to like that grind to play football. This is the grind. Some of it is just the grind of getting through these hard workouts.
You're right, and it takes a special kid to do that, and it takes a type of kid that if I were an employer out in the Dublin, Lawrence County area, and I had a kid come to me looking for a job, and he'd played 4 years of high school football, I'd hire him because it's not easy, and I don't think it is anywhere, but I know it's not at Dublin because our kids are held to a work ethic that if they're not willing to do that, then they just don't get the uniform because, it's easy. Everybody, there's no better feeling, we all know if we've ever put on a helmet, than to be on that field on Friday night. That is a tremendous internal feeling of satisfaction.
And rush.
Yeah, and it's just really neat.
Yeah.
So everybody would do that if it were easy to do. It's not easy, and in order to experience that, you've got to pay a price. And so you find a kid on his resume that says he's played 4 years of football at Dublin High School, give that kid a chance because he's made the right thing.
He's tough, and he's going to be around.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We're going to take a short break and be right back with Coach Holmes. Stay tuned.
You got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, coverages now. I can help with this. Got zone coverage, man coverage, combo coverages.
I don't know, Peyton. I think more like the type of coverage that Nationwide offers.
Oh, you want to go there. Home, auto, life, business, farm, boat, RV, ATV.
Third down.
No, we're talking real insurance coverages, Brad. Not third down. Camper, pet, motorcycle, your tour bus. Did I mention farm?
Nationwide is on your side.
Dublin Tire is a family-owned and operated company that has been in business since 1955. Is your truck consuming excessive oil? Bring your vehicle to us. You can trust our experienced team to provide complete truck repair services. Does your vehicle need new tires? We can provide you with auto tires from the best brands. You can also count on us for quality truck tires and other auto services. We also provide 24-hour emergency services. Call today for more information or visit us online.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here again in the field house, talking about Dublin Irish football. And, Coach, the last time we talked, it's been about a month or so ago, we had a couple of coaches' positions to fill. And any update on that for us?
Yeah, I think now we're waiting on a board meeting Monday night for our last official hire, and so I feel pretty good about it. But where we stand right now, my son, Riley Holmes, is back, and he's still coaching our two wing-back positions. Tracy White is returning from last year's staff, but he is moving from wide receivers. He'll coach our quarterbacks and fullbacks. Sheldon Ward is on our staff, and Sheldon is new. Sheldon was coaching last year at Trinity Christian, but he's done a really great job for us, and he's going to coach our wide receivers for us. Both of my offensive line coaches, which are most important to me, are back, and Gary Morton coaches our centers and guards, and Gary used to be the head coach over at East Lawrence. And then Matthew Pogue coaches our tackles and tight ends, and it's his second year with us. The defensive side of the ball is where we've had the most change, if you will. But we still have both of our defensive line guys back, and Jonathan Morris, who played for us, obviously, and coached at East for a while, and Jonathan's going to be our new head baseball coach. So we're looking forward to Jonathan getting a chance to coach the green and gold and baseball, which he was a great player here and did a good job. But also Matt Starley is back, but he's also assuming the role for us this year as our special teams coordinator. Matt's been with us for several years and very loyal, hard-working young man. Has done a great job as the head coach of our soccer program. He's moving into the special teams role. Coaching our linebackers is Nick Collins. Nick was the head coach last year at Glen Hills up in Augusta and been there for 2 or 3 years as their head coach. Wanted to get away from some of this head coaching stuff that you had to do, and he's got a daughter here at Dublin High School, and he wanted to get back. And Nick coached with us in 2006 when we won the state championship, and he's going to assume the roles as our defensive coordinator and coach our linebackers. Now in the secondary is where we've got 2 new guys, and one of them is already here. It's a former or a Dublin Hall of Fame football player by the name of Derek Harris. Derek has come on board, and he's going to be teaching over at Susie Dasher. But Derek was a quarterback here for several years and signed with the University of Georgia, but ended up finishing his career, I think, at West Carolina as a quarterback for those guys. And we kid him because when we met him years ago and we were talking, the Replacement or one of these big movies now, Derek, one of these football movies, Derek played a part in one of these movies.
So he's a movie star.
Yeah, he's a movie star. But we give him a hard time about that anyway. Yeah. And then our last coach that we feel like will be hired Monday night, we hope he is, and gosh, what an addition, David Dunnigan. David was an 8-year coach at Presbyterian College. He's did a tremendous job with those guys, and we knew him from when he was recruiting our school for several years. Okay. And I think his wife had they'd had some changes in their family with some little ones, and this college coaching thing was kind of being tough on him. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And he'd gotten out of coaching and for the last couple of years and we got a hold of David and said, hey, man, what do you think? He said, let me come down. So he came down and got out there and watched us practice. And I look over there, and all of a sudden he's got his nose stuck in the middle of a drill. And he was excited and ready to go. So we feel good about if we get that accomplished, then we'll be set. And, gosh, I've got a tremendously experienced group of guys to coach our young men. They're good people. They know the game of football.
Yeah.
They're going to expect our young men to compete at a high level and do what's supposed to. So I'm excited, to see these guys come together and work.
Yeah, yeah. And, Coach, having 80-90% that experienced, either head coaching jobs and college jobs like that, it's incredible.
Well, we feel fortunate to be able to go out and find those type of people. And
it doesn't come easy though, Coach. You got to get out and you got to do the work.
You got to find them, and you got to talk with the superintendent, and you've got to talk with the high school principal, and it's got to be a fit, as we've told everybody. You've got to have the position available.
All right.
And then you've got to find the person that can fit that position. Well, do they have experience coaching the area you need them to coach?
Yeah.
And so it's taken longer than we wanted, but we feel like we've got a pretty good fit there.
So let's get over on that defensive side of the ball. First, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to talk defense with Coach Holmes, so stay with us.
Dublin-Macon Cardiology, celebrating over 14 years of serving Dublin and Lawrence County. At Dublin-Macon Cardiology, we're always committed to taking care of you and your heart. Bringing state-of-the-art cardiac care closer to home with a walk-in chest pain center. New patients are always welcome, and no referral is ever required. Dr. Vega is proud to announce the addition of Elise Rotrammel, a nurse practitioner, to our staff. Drop by today at Dublin-Macon Cardiology, 206A Hospital Drive in Dublin.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cannon, President of Citizens Bank of Lawrence County. If you're presently a customer of ours, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to be your bank. We appreciate the confidence you have placed in us and enjoy providing you with the most up-to-date banking products and services to satisfy your needs. If you're not a current customer, we would like to invite you to stop by and let us show you true community banking at its best. We concentrate on our local community, doing our part to make Dublin and Lawrence County a better place to live, work, play, and retire. We recently introduced 2 new products, eStatements and Access Now, our mobile banking app. Both of these products will help to make banking with us more convenient and will also help to provide you with a safer and more secure banking experience. So for all your banking needs, just give us a call or stop by and let us show you personal banking at its best. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
All right, coming back to you, and we're going to talk defense like we said, and so when we flip the ball now and we get over on that defensive side, man, in the box is tough, isn't it? You got some real players.
Well, we hope we do. We think we do. Let's start with our defensive ends. I mentioned Steve Linton. He's about a 6'4.5", about 220-pound defensive end. He's done a tremendous job and got a lot of offers on the table. He's returning at one of our defensive ends. Transfer Romello Height is locked in right now as a starting defensive end on the other side. We have Josh Lattimore, who's about a 6'4", 220 kid that's working in that position. And a strange combination, but the kid is really coming on pretty quick. I think he was surprised. I took Markel Mitchell, who I mentioned a minute ago, as one of our quarterbacks. Yeah. And we're working him as that 5 technique behind Steve Linton. Markel, as a sophomore, is already about 6'2", about 215. Wow. And he's going to continue to grow. I said, son, I'm not telling you not going to be our quarterback, but there's other things that you're capable of doing, so let's don't put all our in one basket.
In one basket.
We got a young man named Jarvis Jones, who's also about a 225, 230-pounder that'll work at defensive end. When we go inside, we're returning Jaquez Evans, who plays tight end. He's one of our best athletes. He kicks for us. He punts for us. He can long snap. He can throw. I mean, this kid can do so many things and do them well. He plays inside as a 1 technique. We've got Barrick Wadley, and both those kids started as freshmen. Now they're juniors. So both of them are in there and can do a good job. Khalil White, Landon Amerson, and seems like I'm forgetting someone, but there's like 5 kids we've got in there at defensive tackle that can all help us in play. Our linebackers, all 3 return. That's exciting. You've got Jalen Carter returning as our Mike.
Yeah.
Jermaine Cooley returns as our Sam, and Stacy Sharp, who led our team in tackles last year, returns as our will linebacker. Depth at linebacker is a little bit of an issue. Ty McCray, one of our guards I mentioned, is also a linebacker.
Right.
But Josh Isaac can kind of play all 3. Josh is only going to be a sophomore, but he's about a 220-pound kid that can run around and is athletic and can do some things. When we jump into the secondary, I think that's where the red flag or the yellow flag the caution flag starts to go because of our inexperience back there. But we've got Tyler Strickland returning, and Tyler's got several offers in the college level already as a defensive back, and he's going to be a good player.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. We're a little concerned, but if my backup quarterbacks continue to improve, it doesn't bother me as much. But right now, our starting free safety is also our quarterback in Rodriguez Martin. Okay. Our strong safety, our strong corner position, who's a deep half player and a deep player, Kendall Wade, a sophomore, a very intelligent guy that has good ball skills and can do a lot of things, is in the starting lineup in that spot right now. And then we've got Marcus Adams, a junior, a backup running back, who we're working as our strong safety kid. Also back there, we've got Gabe Guyton. We've got Demarius Simonette, Aldashon Guyton, Arshawn James. There's several other kids back there that we just need these half-pad camps and these scrimmage games to really find out where they fit.
Them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And, Coach, when you get those 1 or 2 kids out on the field, and hopefully every team has them, and it sounds like you got a couple this year with a higher IQ, a higher football IQ.
Yeah.
And that just opens up a totally different game for you, doesn't it?
Makes it fun. You know, it was kind of neat. I was on vacation this year there in Destin, and the condo that I stay at every year, Jake DeLome is always down there. Almost they're there every year, but Jake was a high school wing T quarterback in Louisiana who went on to be a Super Bowl quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And Jake is always down there, and we ended up sitting out by the grill and talking some football. And I said, you know, I've told stories about you. You know, parents say, well, my kid needs to, I don't know if I want my kid to go to Dublin and play quarterback because they run the wing T. I said, Jake, you along with about Rich Gannon, and there were several guys that were NFL quarterbacks that grew up in the wing T stuff. So we laugh and talk about that. But he said something, and I hope he's right because I kind of believe it myself. He was saying, Coach, when you got a 3-year starter at quarterback, man, things ought to go really well. And I said, well, you know, Jake, as a matter of fact, my quarterback this year is a 3-year starter, and we're hoping that things go really well. And so it was neat. Also, while we were there with Jake was Mike McCoy. Mike McCoy was the head coach for the San Diego Chargers for a couple of years, and now he's the offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. So I got some coaching clinic, you know, while I was sitting out by the grill. But the other thing that you remembered that those guys said Mike McCoy and them used to talk about it all the time when they were all together with the Panthers. And I said, well, what's that? They said, just remember, Coach, FTS. FTS. And I said, what's FTS mean? They said, feed the stud. Give the guy the ball who knows what to do with it. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And so the excitement continues to build. You'll be able to come out and see some of the thud camps that you're doing. And then, of course, there'll be a couple more 7-on-7s, I'm assuming. That's all over.
When you finish, when Wednesday gets here.
When you put the pad on.
Now you're on Georgia High School's 5-day deal. So you don't get to work with anybody else but one time. Our scrimmage is going to be August 10th. Mm-hmm. We actually scrimmage Baldwin in Baldwin.
Yep.
Our first game is August 17th at home with ECI. Whew, that one will have a tremendous atmosphere.
Yeah.
I do want to plug while I'm at it, the Saturday, August 25th, Our team has been invited to go play in Macon on a thing that the Macon Touchdown Club is putting on, and we're going to play Tatnall Square on a Saturday, August 25th at 5 o'clock. We play Tatnall Square at 5. The game right after that is Northside Warner Robins versus Peach County. Now, you can purchase your tickets here. All you got to do is come by Dublin High School, or several of our Booster Club people have them. The tickets are $10. If you buy them at the gate, they're $12.
Okay.
Buy your ticket here and save $2 on the price. But where it really is a benefit to Dublin High School, if you buy your ticket here, we get to keep 100% of that ticket.
Buy your ticket here.
If you buy your ticket there, we get 20% of it.
Oh.
So we'd like to sell all of our fans that are planning on going there. No college games that day. No NFL games.
No
None of it
competition.
has started. There's
This is
nothing
the
but just
game.
high school football, and we'd love to have you there supporting the
That
Irish.
sounds real exciting. Hey, we're going to take one more break. We're going to come back, a couple more questions for Coach Holmes, so you want to stay tuned.
Guys, it's time to make your country Bad Boy Country.
Bad Boy Mowers leads the zero-turn mower world with professional-grade power and performance, cut-quality perfection, and easy-ride innovations that can deliver a smooth ride all day, every day. In Bad Boy Country, we build them better in America to last a lifetime. 747 cc's, 60-inch cut, $49.99.
All American value, made American strong. Mow with an attitude.
See Cullen Supply and Engine Service, your Bad Boy dealer.
At Bank of Dudley, we understand that buying a new home is a time of many decisions, and we're here to help and answer all of your questions that might arise during the mortgage loan process. Our mortgage professionals, Shirley Clements and Sherry Adderhall, have over 75 years of combined mortgage experience, backed by a bank that has served this community since 1905. Call or come by and visit with Sherry or Shirley at our Veterans Boulevard branch, or go online at bankofdudley.com and get started today. Bank of Dudley, creating a custom mortgage experience with competitive rates and terms is what service is all about. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, here with Coach Holmes, and we love coming in talking about football. We were talking just a moment ago about that ECI first game, and I know you want to get past, going up and balling and that's going to make you feel
my
good.
focus is really
on
on
ECI. And you already got film out, and you looking at, Coach, when you look back at film, you can look at film on ECI and Charlton County. I mean, come on, man. You talk about those two teams on the field. Yeah. You got some film to watch there. You got something to study, and you know you're going to be playing a tough team. ECI does not. If anybody knows anything about football,
it's not an easier opener.
What a great opener, though, Coach.
Well, and there's
throw
no doubt.
You in the fire, right?
Well, we're going to know where we are pretty quick, and ECI, great coaching staff, do some good things. Obviously, they've got one of the top defensive ends in the state this year. It's been heavily recruited. Had a young quarterback last year that people keep telling me, man, this kid can throw the ball. He's really a very talented
kid. Good test for you.
So it's going to be a tremendous test, and ECI is going to come in here and they're going to be preaching to all their guys, the big bad Dublin, the double A school versus the single A school and this and that. Well, we know what we're in for, and it's going to be all we can handle.
When's the last time we played ECI? I don't even know.
I think somebody said they've played 3 times in the history of the schools, but we haven't played since I've been in Dublin.
Yeah. Well, that's been what, 15, 16?
Finished 16. We're starting year 17.
Starting year 17, Coach.
Great. The hair's getting grayer.
But time has flown by, hasn't it, Coach?
Yes, sir.
And you stacking up the wins.
Well, we're have more than we do losses. That's why I'm still there.
That's why we're still doing the
Yes,
coaches
sir.
show. Well, we look forward to bringing everybody the coaches show each week. We'll have Stan Smith back in. He'll be able to interview you each week and recap everything going on. Of course, that comes on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We kick it all off there with Dublin. And then you can catch it online, any of this online, if you want to share it with your friends on our YouTube or on our Facebook, TV35 WDIG. Proud to do that. I do want to bring up, Coach, that you'll be on different radios, so you got all that on social media, and we're putting that out there. Dublin Fighting Irish should be on different radio station this year, so you'll want to look for that, get all the information, stay in touch. Where can they keep up with all the latest stuff? On your Twitter?
Well, we have
Facebook?
a Facebook. Dublin Touchdown Club has their own Facebook page. Click on it, join up with it, and stay with us, and you'll be able to keep up with what's going on kind of on a daily basis if there are changes out there. We're selling ads for our football program. If people haven't been contacted, should call the school and tell them you need me, or it's, the office number in here is 353-8031. Say, Coach, we'd like to get an ad, and nobody's reached out to us. We don't want to miss you. Century Club memberships are being sold now. They went out yesterday, I think, to all the previous members, but we need new members. We need all the new blood we can continue to bring into our program. And guys, football is going to be here much quicker than we can ever imagine. So let's all get ready for football in Dublin and Lawrence County and support all the teams.
Yeah, and so if you like them on Facebook, then you got all the information. But much more important right now is that you join the Booster Club, that you get on the Touchdown Club, and that you buy that ad in the program if you can, but especially the Dublin Touchdown Club. Support that. Go ahead and get that. And if you don't get the invite, if you got one and then maybe they missed you a year or what have you, hey, we're all human. Sometimes that happens. Don't get your feelings hurt.
Call 353-8031 and say, Coach, y'all messed up. And I'll admit somebody messed up, maybe me, but we're going to try to make it right for you. So we look forward to working with everybody.
Glad to talk about Dublin Irish football, and we'll get you next time right here on TV 35.